Hello everyone, welcome to IAE. In this video, we will solve another numerical on power electronics, which states that the circuit diagram shows in this figure, it's supplied from a 230 volt 50 Hz supply. So we must write this is a 230 volt 50 Hz. Obviously 230 volt is the RMS voltage. The single phase voltage source and a 10:1 ideal transformer. So we must write this is 10:1. The firing angle of T1 and T2 are respectively 90 degree and 270 degree. Okay, fine. Then we have to find out the RMS value of the current through this output diode, which is the freewheeling diode as we know. Okay, fine. To solve this problem, let us look, this problem is very interesting in the sense because you see there is a transformer. So what we can say, 230 volt is the input voltage. So maximum voltage will be 230 volt. Generally we will do this 230 root 2, sorry, it will be 230 root 2 and it is a 10:1. So obviously here the voltage will come 230 volt and the max value will be 23 root 2. Okay, so here we must write the output voltage is 230 volt RMS voltage. Anyway, but see one thing, you have to find out the RMS value of the current through the diode D3. To find out that, what we have to do, we have to find out the waveform, what duration of the current is being passed through this D3 diode. So let us draw the current through the diode. So first of all, we have to draw the input voltage, which is this one, right? The input AC voltage source. Okay, fine. Chalo. So this is VI. Here we will draw the output voltage, let us say, and here we will draw the output current. From the output current, we will be able to say how much current will be passing through the D3 diode, which is our requirement. Okay, fine. So what you need to do first, just mark these zero crossing points. Just marks, nothing else. This is pi, 2 pi, 3 pi and so on. And also they told us that T1 and T2 are having firing angle 90 degree and 270 degree. 90 degree and 270 degree. So which one is the 90 degree? The 90 degree will be this one, isn't it? So here T1 is triggered and T2 is triggered at 270 degree. So it must be this one, 270 degree, 180 plus 90. So here I am marking T2 is triggered. Okay, fine. So let us also mark these points. Okay. Now when we trigger T1, we know that in this positive half cycle, this voltage is positive and this voltage is negative. All of we know that in the upper side of the thyristors, T1 is forward biased. That is why it is triggered at the point 90 degree. And which diode is forward biased in the positive half cycle? As you can see here, the two diodes are connected in common anode. So it must be the D2, which is having the least potential. That is why T1 and D2 will conduct from 90 degree to 180 degree or pi. So the output voltage will be, this input voltage will appear across this load and the load as shown, it is R-type load. Mind it, the load is shown as a R-type load only. So this is resistance only. Okay, then the output voltage will be the input voltage. So this one, okay, and here we will draw the current. Who will be responsible in this duration for the current conduction? The responsibility will go to T1 and T2 only. And as because there is a resistive load, then the current will be in the same phase of the input voltage. So it will be something like this because input voltage and current will be in same phase for resistive load, all of you know. And the responsibility goes to T1 and D2. D2 because it is named as D2. Okay, here it will be 0. We know the current is coming to 0 because of the load resistance. And we know that thyristor will be off at this point because the current is 0. Fine. Here we will get 0 voltage because in the negative half cycle T2 is ready for conduction but it is not triggered. So what will happen? We will trigger T2 at 270 degree and subsequently we will get 0 current also. The output current is 0 because output current will follow the input voltage. That's why we have drawn in the same way, maximum, maximum, minimum, minimum, or 0 and 0. Okay, in the negative half cycle, as you see, T2 is triggered at 270 degree because it is a problem, it is say 270 degree. So we can say same thing will happen. T2, now the polarities are positive and negative. Now this positive voltage through T2 will appear at this point. Now D1 is forward biased. Instead of D2, D1 is forward. So this will go in this point and we will get the output voltage, though the input polarity is changing, but we will get the output voltage as positive. Something like this, right? And the current obviously will follow the input voltage and with same profile we will get. And here conduction is taken care of by T2 and D1. T2 and D1. As you see, as because the load is resistance only, no intermediate conduction is taken place. Now you may think, why the diode is there? The answer is simply they have given you the D3 to confuse you. How much current is flowing through the D3? Basically, there won't be any current through the D3 because D3 will come to the picture only if there is a inductance. The inductance will charge and you will discharge the energy through this and there will be a continuous current flow. But for a resistive load, there is no use of this D3 diode. They have only given you, or they have given to judge how much you know the concept or not. So the answer definitely, there is no question of conduction through the D3. So the answer will be 0. There will be current through this is 0. Now you can see then why these values are given. They are basically given to confuse you. So whether you can solve the numerical by looking at this or not. So this is the thing. I think hopefully you have enjoyed the video and thank you for watching the video.